Hey, welcome back to ShaunSpins. I'm your host, Shaun, and this is episode 17. Hope everybody is safe and well, and I have some notes here from my fake producer for episode 17. Make sure you tell everyone to like and subscribe again. Come on. If people want to subscribe, they'll subscribe. I'm not going to take up time. That's just bullshit. Really? Maybe you should switch to doing movie reviews.
I'm all set, baby.
A thing called love? It was good. Next suggestion, maybe switch to a food review channel? Food review? Most of those food review channels are like fast food. I don't eat fast food. You made a title. Oh, jeez. Well, here we go. It's a pear, and it's organic, and I plan to eat it at with lunch, partly part of my lunch. I'll let you know later how the pear was with the sandwich. I told you it's not as entertaining. What else we got? Switch over to reviewing new cars and test driving cars. I only have one car. That's not going to be a very interesting channel. Let's give it a try. That was exciting. We got one more suggestion. A guest star. We had this suggestion before, I thought. I've written to a lot of people. No one wants to come on the show. I don't know. You got one. You got one to talk about Daniel Johnston. We got an expert to talk about. Well, let's get the guest star in here. Oh, no. I should have known. Yeah, hi, it's great to be here. Well, tell us what you think of Daniel Johnston's music. Oh, I like it a lot. That's it? Yes, indeed. Well, thanks for coming on the show today. Can we please just get into the album for the episode 17, please? Please.
Our evening began in Peter Sechel's comfortable study in his New York townhouse.
Sounds like we're doing a Beastie Boys album. Let's get the show started.
Delicious again, Peter.
Huh? Well, that organic pear. It's good. So we're doing a Beastie Boys record today. My favorite. Maybe, if not, top 5, top 10 favorite albums ever. So up here where I live on the radio, they play the Beastie Boys' first record a lot. And I mean a lot. And I do not care for the first Beastie Boys record. Not just because it's played on the radio all the time. They also play Pearl Jam's first record all the time. And they also play a Bon Jovi record. To the point that sometimes I wonder in the future if people will realize that the Beastie Boys and Pearl Jam made other music. So it's not necessarily that it's played all the time that I don't like. I've never liked their first album, that License to Ill. Never have. I have a copy of Paul's Boutique on cassette tape. I like that album more. Seems to be a little bit more growth. The first album to me, I just, it doesn't do it. It does nothing for me. To me, it's just like, almost like listening to like children misbehaving. Like it's just very juvenile, and just, even as a child, I didn't like it. So Paul's Boutique I like better. Yet Check Your Head has to be one of my favorite, not just from the Beastie Boys, but like any album. Going into Ill Communication, both of them hold a special place to me, yet Check Your Head I like more. One of the first experiences I got to see with Check Your Head was a show on MTV in the afternoons. And now MTV in the afternoons had this, like, I think it was called Hanging with MTV. Nirvana was on it too. This is during the time that Kurt had bright cherry red hair. Same time that Saturday Night Live, early performance, like early 92, we'll say. They say during that performance that Kurt leaned into someone at MTV and said, can I stop playing? I want to go to an art museum in town. I think that was one of the first trips he ever taken to New York. So the Beastie Boys were on this show too, and it was two performances I really remember. I'll tell you how that afternoon time changed, and later on it became Total Request Live. Yet, early 90s, it was a full-on like concert experience. So one of the things that got me about that show was towards the end when the band was stopping and the VJs come out. I wonder if they still call themselves VJs, video disc jockeys. And they think the show's over, like, oh, that was a great show. And all of a sudden the band gets into the next song. Let's go to the proof.
All right, the Chili Peppers give it away. Our guest today, we just saw him perform, so what you want, it is the Beastie Boys. Welcome, guys. How you doing? DJ Hurricane in the house as well. Well, these guys love it. Congratulations on the new record, first of all, guys. It's like, not only is everyone seem to be getting into it, but everything I've read, like, the press has been really positive, too.
That's because I love these guys like brothers, so you know.
That's the whole reason.
That was the family part of the show.
That's it. Enough of the family part. People have said, like, or I've read a bunch of places, that this record, compared to Paul's Boutique, compared to License to Ill, sounds like a different band. I mean, do you even feel now that it's like the same group, or you approach music in the same ways you did when you did the first record, did the first album?
Yeah, do you want to handle that one?
Yeah, it's the same. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just played.
Yeah. No, I mean, pretty much even from like our first indie records, it's just, we kind of do what we do at the moment. So it's, it's just fortunate that other people are able to deal with it.
Right.
What about
If they weren't, then, we'd all be hanging out,
critics have been saying that you guys are really grown up a lot. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Mostly Mike.
Mostly me. I'm trying, because I'm going...
So here's that footage that I was talking about that MTV probably felt like the show was over. The Beastie Boys are playing. The VJs start coming over thinking it's done. Next thing you know, drummers switch place, go right into a different song. They go right into Time for a Living, which is a great, great song. Now, another thing about the Beastie Boys, I had spoken about this before, with not only Nirvana, yet with the cover for Blind Melon with Nico. For myself and my friends, we saw people on a CD cover on TV that dressed the same way we did. And I know for me, it made me feel like I fit in because someone else dressed like me or had the same kind of style. Great footage. Was a great show. And as I said, I believe this is what became Total Request Live. You gotta love the audience just pogoing everywhere. So at this time, I would go to a friend of mine's house, and there was two albums we would listen to a lot that inspired us to start messing around making music. And one was Public Enemy's Fear of a Black Planet, and the second one was the Beastie Boys' Check Your Head. Now, Check Your Head meant a lot to me because it was molding a lot of different music styles together. the Beastie Boys started playing instruments again. That meant a lot to me too. It was putting a lot of things I liked together. When I was in school at that time, people either liked rock music or rap music. And I remember feeling kind of conflicted because I liked both. And so this album, in a sense, put both together for me with hardcore punk rock, which was amazing and still is. So here's my original copy on CD. It was part of those get 10 CDs for a penny. Still got the little seal right there from that company. So this is one of the first CDs I ever had. Probably in the first 10 or 5, if not. The cover alone speaks a lot. It's got the band with instruments now. And as I was saying a little earlier, the style too. The style speaks not only the dress, yet the handwriting. The style speaks so much of the 90s and of New York City. The cover photograph is done by Glenn E. Friedman, who had done a lot of photographs from my childhood of musicians and skateboarders, and very powerful photograph. Inside of it, it's got this collage that I remember growing up. I would stare at it a lot and try to figure out who was in the pictures. On the other side, it's got the band, probably a recording studio or a place where they practice. It's got Mark over here, the 4th member. This picture meant a lot to me too, seeing a band like that playing together. These photographs alone, the cover and that cover, is probably a big reason I wanted to play guitar and put all these things together. As I said, we were messing around at that time, putting music together and sounds and things like that. It was an incredible moment, I feel as though, in music. And I believe the Beastie Boys downplay a little bit in that MTV show, like if their sound has changed. Oh, it changed a lot. And it continued to change into the next album too, with Ill Communication. A lot of growth. This album really sticks with me. The songs, you might be saying, are they any good? Oh yeah. Not only because they're playing instruments, yet the samples they use, everything. The big hit on this album was So What You Want. It's not my favorite from the album. Gratitude was also another single. I do like Gratitude a lot. Now, my favorite on this album is Live at PJ's. I feel that song might be one of the best songs ever recorded. Unbelievable. Now, this is one of the albums in my life that I can go from start to finish, and I just love every single song on it. Every one of them. I remember how excited I used to get growing up for Time for a Living. Biz Marquis right before that, singing, and then it goes right into Time for a Living. Just one after another. The tracks speak to each other. Not only do the tracks, I feel, speak to each other, yet the artwork does a great job speaking for the time and who the band is. It's phenomenal. The style, the look, the handwriting, everything about it. The music is phenomenal. So much growth. The difference between the third Beastie Boys record, Check Your Head, and the first one, you wouldn't even think, at least I wouldn't think, it's the same band. Doesn't even feel like it. Some of the grooves in the instrumentals they play is just phenomenal. Again, I wouldn't think it was the Beastie Boys. I would have thought it was a different band that's been playing together for 20 years. That's how good some of these grooves are. I highly recommend Check Your Head. It's a great album. And until next time, I hope everybody's safe and well, and be nice to each other and take care.